Hello everybody, it is game 4 between GunGFuBanDa and Acer Scarlett. Really funky series so far. This is for the finals of the Zotac Cup. I suggest if you haven't seen the other games to this point, you should go check them out. Check out my channel, like and subscribe while you're there if you haven't already, because I'm awesome and you're awesome and we should be awesome together. But this game is going to be game 4. Game 1 was a cheese by GunGFuBanDa and it worked. Game 2 was a macro game and Scarlett won. Game 3 was a cheese by GunGFuBanDa, and it worked. Game number 4 looks like it's probably going to open up macro again. We'll see if we can get the same kind of result out of Scarlett. I'm kind of cheering for GunGFuBanDa. Got a little wonky there at the end of game 2, a little chatty. So I always root for Scarlett, regardless. One of my faves. Awesome. I think a fave for a lot of people actually. Just a really solid player, very modest, and obviously right now killing it at the highest levels. I expect to see a fairly similar opening to what we got from game 2 from GunGFuBanDa. Going into the cybernetics core expand is what I would expect, just because that looks like he's comfortable with, other than going for the proxy to a gateway. And I think that's something every protoss player should have just in their arsenal. Just because it works so well. And there's so many maps that are designed like this one, right here. 2 gates go down, super easy. And you can see that Scarlett is scouting for it because she's lost to it twice. Essentially because she didn't see it soon enough. The second time it happened, it could be argued that she probably could have done better if she was able to get down that spine crawler. Ooh, almost got a block. Forge expand? No, it's gateway expand. So nothing's going to come because of that. Pool was first, so even if there was some sort of, maybe, I was about to say for a second, maybe some sort of cannon harass, that perhaps there would be some opportunities there, but that doesn't look like that's the case. It's nice to do these pokes in if you've got the APM to be able to deal with it, because sometimes you can throw up the rhythm. You can see there's very few drones bouncing around, because as a pro player, you really want your workers to mine as perfectly as possible. So therefore, you're going to try to have those optimized. 2 workers in these extractor, fairly standard for openings for protoss players. And we're probably going to see them go into some form of expansion here pretty soon, I would expect. Zerglings running around to scout. The benefit of being a cheesy player is that your opponents are almost always afraid. Ooh, there is one probe up here. Let's see if he gets super scouted. Nope, doesn't look like it. So we might end up seeing maybe a 4-gate. Is anybody up for a 4-gate? Look at all these zerglings running everywhere. I could be up for a 4-gate. 4 gates are fun. Nope, actually have the Nexus going down. There's no mothership core out yet though. That's a bit risky. I mean, there's not a ton of zerglings coming across the map, but not having out that mothership core right away is tough. And I think he is supply blocked. What a jerk. Get less supply blocked. 1 zealot should be able to protect all the stuff just fine. 4 zerglings, microed well enough, can take on a zealot. Zergling doesn't get off the scout that he wants. There's no overlord in position to keep going. So we'll see whether or not there's going to be some more sacrifice lings in the future. Units wise, not the biggest lead on workers right now for Scarlett. Well, there's about 7 more to pop. In this map, I think it's actually very important because of the distance here that you want to get a creep tumor going in your main. It gives you that vision along the side in case there's maybe a warp prism, and it allows you to just deal with things a little bit more quickly. So I'm a big fan of getting down 1 creep tumor and running it around your base just to make sure. Gateway wall off at the front. When you see this amount of gateways, ooh, it's actually a Stargate. Maybe an Oracle Zealot play, I'm a huge fan of. I think that works out super well. Don't think that she saw that. She did not, unfortunately. So she doesn't know this. There's the Oracle. Oracles are so good. They're one of my favorite units when I'm playing Protoss. It doesn't even matter my matchup. Getting an Oracle is almost always a good choice. It's very difficult for it to not pay off unless you just screw up and like fly it into a cannon because you think it's cool. Creeps off into a good start. One creep tomb here. I might move up into the main. shall see. And we're actually even getting a spine crawler down this side. And I think that's... Ooh. Saw a pylon get cancelled out there. And I think that's what we're likely going to see, is just a big gateway oracle play here. Lots of zealots down. Spine crawlers are in position now. Spine and a spore. So I think she should be able to hold us off. I'm not going to go far enough to say that GunGFuBanDa is cheesy, but it's obvious that he doesn't think he's going to win against Scarlett in the late game. And that's a difficult thing to bet on. Not very easy to deal with Scarlett in the late game. She's just had that much experience and played at that high of a level. 7 zealots. That's a lot of zealots once again. Good transfuse. The good thing that Scarlett's doing here is she's distracting some of these zealots away from attacking. Units wise though, we can see, well, Scarlett's got a pretty good lead, about 12 workers, but the Protoss is still making workers, whereas all the larvae right now from the Zerg is going straight into making units. Double oracles down. Detection to clear out creep. I think that's very useful. I actually really like this a lot to deal with the creep. I think that's very, very clever. Zerglings did try to bust in, but there's enough sentries there to apparently deal with it. I really like this from GunGFuBanDa. Like I said, it's not super cheesy necessarily. This hatch might get cancelled here. Yeah, it's gonna have to be. Kills off the zealots. Hatch was cancelled. Creep was annihilated. There's enough queens down here, though. I think she'll be able to get some more creep tumors down. Oracles, once again, super valuable unit. Always going to be worthwhile to keep alive. Someone is lagging. It's you. I get nothing. Me. Go. That's really funny for Scarlett. It's you. So there's a little bit of saltiness there after those games. Kills off a free stalker. Free stalkers are the best kind of stalkers when you're playing a Zerg. Good amount of sentries and units down here. Try to go for that third base really fast. I think that's a smart move from GunGFuBanDa. Denied the third of the Zerg player. The tech isn't that great. A lot of the larvae got forced into making units rather than workers. So it's pretty even. Lots of gas going down. And as I would have expected, Spire is on the way. Spire is going to be the answer for just about everything that the Protoss player has right now, other than maybe getting out a ton of stalkers. Upgrades, really up on the upgrades. Are there any upgrades for the Protoss? Yes, it does have that, a +1 attack. Very useful, because if you run into a Zerg player that doesn't have +1 defense, your Zerglings just kind of get tooled. Spore Crawler in place, lots of queens. Creep still moving again. How many queens does she have? 5. So enough to inject on every base and keep things alive. Could potentially run in here and get some damage in, but you risk a lot if the Protoss player is paying attention. Blink, +2 attack, and more probes. 4th base is going down. You need to do that as Scarlett. You do need to really start getting out that bigger macro lead. A couple of oracles, they have so much speed and mobility. Let's see if they can come down here and maybe snipe a couple of workers. What are we at there? 3 kills, 6 kills. Not bad. Some of those were Zerglings earlier on. Let's look at the total killed. 6. Not massive. Gonna keep going for scouts. Might as well. Cannon out in the front. That might seem like it's kind of a newbie-ish thing to do. But if you got the extra minerals, help yourself out a bit. I would have liked to maybe see a couple cannons in the back if you got those minerals. There is an observer here. It's nice to have the detection of this in case maybe burrowed infestors or roaches comes into play. Very stylish right now. Very en vogue. Base is starting to get saturated. Would think it'd be worthwhile for her to get down a couple of static defenses just to make sure. Patrol Phoenix, why not? Mutas are out. Nice envision casted on those though. Now, mutas aren't faster than oracles, are they? No, they can't be. Another Stargate in production right now. Might going up to 2 Stargate Oracle, sorry, 2 Stargate Phoenix might be very worthwhile. Blink's about to be finished, and that's going to allow him to stay much more mobile. And we also see that there is Colossus tech in play right now. Snipes a Phoenix. A little bit too much to tangle with. The good thing about Mutalisks is obviously they just... Wow, 11 more mutas. Mutas are... Wow, that's a lot of mutas. How did she get so many mutas so fast? Nice snipe there by Scarlett, picking up a few of those Phoenixes. Really, really smart. And look at her just taking the map now, just aggressively. Look, I've got map control. I would like to see maybe some static defenses being made, just in case. But mutas do give you that mobility. So if you do get something that runs around you, you do have always that option. That's so many mutas. Holy crap. 31 mutas out right now. If you do have those mutas, it does allow you to stay alive a little bit stronger against any type of run-by play. And there's no pylons you can see out on the map right now for the Protoss player. Nice timing to catch these zealots. Whoa. Maybe not catch those zealots? Well, that's probably why. Unfortunately, not catching those zealots or that probe means that there's probably going to be harassment to the south. Handful of lings is going to go take care of that. Dark Shrine on the way, more mutas, defenses, and a second Spire. And that's probably so that she can move up into Greater Spire while still upgrading. And there's those static defenses that we want. You can see that just the pink moving all over the map right now. Creep doing great. Maybe I should stay on board with these here mutas. They're doing most of the work. Actually snipes the starport down. That's worthwhile. Lost a handful of mutas there. Maybe more than she would have wanted. But her air control right now, you can tell she's going mass, air, zerg. Protoss is getting the range upgrades right now. Aryan Pulse Crystals, what are they called again? Anion Pulse. I'm like Aryan Pulse Crystals, that sounds funny. Zerglings getting a bit of damage, you might as well. Actually, picking up that Colossus would be pretty sweet. Zerglings are pretty cheap right now. I mean, she doesn't have as big of a bank as the Protoss does. Storm is not necessarily great against mutas, but a little surprised that hasn't come out yet. Sniping more Phoenixes down. That Phoenix count has not been able to get up to a critical number. DTs. No detection. How about down here? Nope, no detection. Sniping up a fair bit of stuff. You see the army is retreating. I don't know if there's any detection. Does she have anyone nearby? Lots and lots of corruptors out. Is the Greater Spire finished yet? It is not. DTs are doing what they can, right? It's not a ton of damage, but it's just going to help trying to control things. Spores and Spines going down at this base. She's just going to transfer away. Picking these off would be really nice. That was about as quick as you can pick anything off. Catching the Protoss player completely out of position. Getting that Greater Spire. There we go. That's a very nice pickup for her. Grab it. She might be able to, yeah, just rumble with these units here. There's not enough Stalkers in play. Looks like she will take this on. Lots of Corruptors out here to deal with these Phoenixes. Trying to micro the Phoenixes, but they're just getting destroyed. And there's the GG. I don't think that's a capital GG on purpose. I think you probably hit caps locks to win that game because it doesn't look like GunGFuBanDa has been a super happy camper through these games. Nice play by Scarlett there. You can see this great confidence that she has. Tying up the series 2-2, so that means the next game decides the Zotac Cup Finals. Tune in. The annotation should be down below. And we'll see you guys in a minute.